So we're now running a bit late. So for this reason, we're only going to take one question from Ivana Franke.
Yeah. So I would first like to say deeply thank you to all of the speakers, to Monica and Lisa and Sangeetha and Andres. And I would like to actually bring out one question which was inspired by which actually Lisa mentioned, which is possibility of a new concept of our place in the universe. And I would somehow like to bring this question to everybody. So I don't know if you would have some sort of comment or further insights that you could share with us. Perhaps we can start with Juan-Andres.
Well,
if you would like, of course, a bit on the spot. Let's see.
A lot of responsibility, but I'll try not to just to contribute from my own subjective experience. So as I listen to all our contributions, perhaps several things come out, I think, in most of all, and one is obviously a kind of sense of that we all at this point, I think, have a sense of seeing what is outside as not a passive kind of receptive process, but more sort of an interactive process by which we go back and forth between something out there and something is there, and perhaps our own sense of the boundaries between them is very shifting. And perhaps as I tell in my particular contribution, it's not even only in our mind, but in the past 3 decades or so, we start to even give our computers our same biases. And then the computers are the ones doing the observations and in a funny way, reproducing some of the same phenomena that psychologists have discovered in people also start to occur with artificial intelligence. And there's also projections and hallucinations, and in a way, we the humans are then feeding into are on both sides of this artifact. So I would say this how would I say our sense of the world in most of it's already something very complex in this case. And then the other thing I might want to say is that it's also increasingly collective, as Ivana was saying, with this thing we all remember from about 4 years ago, the dress with the different colors, but also with many phenomena. I would say that the pandemic today is another example where the entire humanity is suddenly taking part in all these kind of global experiments that are both of things that are supposed to be very objective out there, like, well, the supposed sense of, say, a disease or a virus. And then we notice and participate in how these scientific entities also shift in their identity over days and weeks. And you can see the whole process collectively shaping and going back and forth between politics and science and what we would call the public, which is people either hiding at home, but also sometimes in hospitals, activists having to debate whether you should stop protesting about what is important because of an entity. So it's like politics no longer is out there. It's also something you can think of separate. It's somehow embedded in every scientific debate, even more than ever, in a more collective form. So it's like we're having these two processes. One, the world, what is out there and what is within us, we see more complex, but also that increasingly it's only, everything is extremely collectivized.
Thank you. It would be amazing if all of you that just spoke could say something. I can follow the order of the schedule we had earlier, but of course we could also just unfold a discussion as it comes. So maybe Monica, do you have some comments and an answer to Ivana's and Juan-Andres' queries?
No, I had to be like this, but I really couldn't understand Ivana because it was very soft.
Oh.
I mean, there are things that Juan-Andres was saying, which of course are very, very pertinent. And the question of the constitution, the making of the world is, even as one thinks it is not, what is the ideas of objectivity per se, and I think especially in this pandemic year, what is constituting our life experience for the present and for the future, all of these things are especially highlighted. And I think in his fantastic presentation, we got a sense of that. But to be honest, I still don't know what Ivana was asking.
Please ask again.
So I was asking about the new concept of our place in the universe, or concept of our place in the universe, and what do you think? What is it now, and how is it evolving in the future?
You heard that? Yes.
What is our place in the universe?
Yes.
The concept of the universe and how it's
new
changing.
Place in the universe.
Yeah, the new concepts and new places, we could say.
I think Lisa's presentation was very sort of important in shifting sort of assumptions that one has, just in terms of, I mean, some of the things one knows, of course, but this idea that things obviously are there, but the fact that whether we perceive them or not, in that lies everything, right? And I think this question of our place in the universe is as much guided by the category of what one constitutes. And I think I would say this in a slightly different tangent from what Juan-Andres was saying, but how one constitutes the presence of being has got so much to do with other histories and other politics than our place per se. I mean, I don't know, to me, this is almost like asking question of, is life at all? I don't know. I really don't have an answer to this.
Yeah, maybe Sangeetha or
Lisa,
perhaps, if you want to stream in.
Yeah,
Although this is a very complex one.
If you would allow me, I would like to
yes, of course.
some thoughts.
Yes, please.
Perhaps if I understood Ivana Franke's question, and if I could respond to her, perhaps the way I have understood or rather experienced her question is, what's the place of each one of us in this universe? I guess if you give a slight epistemological twist to that question, what is your place in the universe? Perhaps how do we consider the question, where is the universe in us? So there is an immediate bifurcation when we start looking at the universe and your own placement in that. So how about seeing the universe in us, which means to even ask that question, the idea of oneself as to be very different from how it is experienced in a very polarized world with various kinds of controls, particularly during the lockdown experience of these COVID-19 times. So I think it will be very interesting to see what is the place of the universe in us. So not only that, how am I placed in the universe, or how is the universe placed in you? I think that's an interesting question, because that will inspire us to redefine our own identity, our own self, and our own ways of looking at our experiences. Thank you.